So I want to talk to you a little bit about creativity and why artists, poets, maybe like scientists, writers, philosophers, they are not just very creative, but they can tap into the very edge of innovation. They can tap into innovation. They can tap into creativity. They can gather energy, which comes in the shape of concepts and elements that they can use to bring new things to life, to bring new understanding, to bring new concepts to life. They they operate like this because their inner world is more real than the outer world. We can explain this through the brainwave frequencies. If I'm more used to be in beta brainwave frequency, my brain is more alert towards the environment. My brain is more focused on detecting and identifying threat in the environment. That could be a micro threat, that could be a real threat, but that movement of detecting threat is present. And that makes my brain process information in a different way. If I'm too busy, if my brain and body are too busy processing threat that is present in the environment, there is no energy, no resource, no mental, emotional resource to think outside of the box. If I'm really focused on the environment without an expanded awareness, if I have no resources, I am processing information from a limited medium. And if I'm processing information from a limited medium, I can't tap into what's outside of that medium. And creativity and innovation exist outside of that medium. That's why when you're going to write a song, you can't sit down and say, I'm going to write the best song ever. Because otherwise, everybody would do it at all times. If I sit down and say, I'm going to do this right now, because I have this analytical intention of doing this, I'm not allowing it to happen naturally. I'm operating from a limited medium, and therefore I cannot create anything genius because the genius exists in the alpha brainwave state, which is a more secure, more introverted brainwave state, information processing mode. That's why singers, I mean, songwriters or whatever artists it is, painter, whatever, they really live in their own atmosphere. They're not worried about the external environment as much. That allows them to access resources that are outside of your radar screen, outside of the things that you can think about. Because if you're dealing with the things you can think about and predict, then it's not creative, it's not innovative, and it doesn't look genius from an analytical standpoint. You're only a genius if you can only tap into the genius of who you are, and we're all different geniuses. You can only tap into the genius of who you are if you transcend the analytical mind. That's why if I'm coming from the analytical mind and I read a book that was written from the creative mind, of the alpha to theta brainwave state, it's going to look genius. I'm going to think from the analytical mind will think, how did he think of this? Where did this magical genius idea come from? How did he think of this? Of course, because you're used to operating from the analytical mind, and the analytical mind, it's limited. It can only deal with a limited amount of resources and information. And all the equations, they're predictable, they're limited. So all the results that are going to come from that are limited as well. You're not going to create anything apparently new or innovative or creative, but you can train yourself to tap into your genius and your creativity and the very source of innovation. Look at Thomas Edison. He was an inventor who understood the alpha to theta brainwave state. His entire way of operating was to cultivate this internal relationship with himself and this expanded awareness that does not judge, does not overanalyze things, and just opens the space for creativity to be downloaded. That's how it works. If you tap into this, you're never going to run out of things to say. You're never going to run out of innovation. You're never going to run out of ideas for new products. You're never going to run out of ways to serve people, ways to relate to people, ideas for you to implement in your business, ideas for you to implement in your art. You're never going to run out of ideas. You're going to inspire the people who listen to you because you've learned to operate on a alpha to theta brainwave state, a more meditative state. We all know what's out there and what has been said. People crave for the genius. People crave for the things that have never been said in the unique way that you have to say it. So it has allowed you to tap into your genius. Your genius is not analytical. Your genius is not scared. Your genius is not insecure if an idea is going to go right or wrong. Your genius is elevated, secure. That's where that your genius is it's your intelligence is the part of your intelligence that flourishes. Is the part of your intelligence that blossoms. And you do that by slowing, decompressing the brain, regulating the nervous system, zooming out of everything, transcending your awareness, opening the spaces inside of you, and staying in this beautiful atmosphere that feels so good. And then you sense, well, this is also the channel from which intuition talks to you. Imagination is one of the tools that exist here. An imagination that is open. If you close your mental and emotional atmosphere, if you close it, analysis closes it. You need to keep it open. You need to keep it open at all times. That's how you think outside the box. That's how you transcend your current problems. That's how the perfect solution comes to you. That's how the perfect instruction on what you have to do next in your life comes to you. That's how you do it. Einstein said you can't solve a problem with the same level of mind that created the problem. That means you need to transcend your analytical mind, because your analytical mind is your current level of mind. It's your current level. It's your current level. Is the current mind that has the current information that you've acquired up to this point, and that has resulted in your current reality. So if you're trying to create a different reality, you need to transcend the analytical mind. You need to come from a new level of mind. And a new level of mind which has more resources, which has the solutions for your limited problems, which has the answers that you're looking for. So you can't be the same person with the same nervous system and with the same brainwave brainwave state of operation. That's why essentially the solutions of all your problems are in some level of introspection. You go back within, you listen to the voice, you stop contracting. Literally, the beta brainwave analyzes everything. And because the brain and body are virtually the same thing, it's a process of cause and effect that doesn't stop. When your brain analyzes things, your body feels it. So you can relax the nervous system, and the brain is going to relax as well, and vice versa. So relax the analytical mind that is always making equations, micro equations, judging things one after the other. You need to cultivate this quieter space, open atmosphere that exists inside of you, that takes life into a different flow, literally. A different flow that makes you quicker than the analytical mind. That's what people don't understand. They think the analytical mind is quicker. No, the analytical mind, it's narrowed and limited, because it operates inside of its own frame, using only the resources that have been accumulated so far. You need to tap into the universal consciousness. You need to tap into the what's out there in forms of information that you can't see. They're out there, and they're going to come to you. They come to whatever channel is open. They come to whatever channel is open, whatever channel emanates the right conditions. This energy, this greater level of information and instruction that is wanting to be manifested, it's going to come. And that's a great way to transcend your current circumstances. So yeah, you can teach yourself to be creative. We all need creativity. Creativity doesn't mean painting like doing a painting or writing a song. Creativity is a way of existing. We all need creativity because we all need to transcend our current circumstance. We all need a solution for our question. We all need an answer. We all need it. Okay? So think about creativity like this, and that might help you.